Hi, I'm Professor Hoffman. I am your critical thinking instructor. This is a short video where I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the class, and we're going to make cupcakes. So I've been teaching critical thinking for about 7 or 8 years now, and one of the most important things I think about in critical thinking is the research aspect. Research is really, really important, and it's going to be a key part of your success in this class by identifying good research practices, evaluating sources, because one of the great things about critical thinking is we have to take a look at what other people have thought of and created in order to really get a good idea of how we can come to our own conclusions. So in essence, it is like making cupcakes, at least the way I do it, because I don't make them from scratch. I take this box. So basically we have high-end ingredients like dear old Betty Crocker, and we can create cupcakes just like if you can have high-end research items and resources like good reputable news sources or academic journals, you'll have a great paper or research project. So let's go ahead and kind of get started with making our cupcakes. And I'm going to use this mixer. This is my grandmother's mixer. This thing is older than I am. I know what you're thinking, that's like ancient, right? Now the interesting thing about my cupcakes is it's not just about, using a mix and kind of making it easy. I like to add a little bit of my own thing to them, and that's critical thinking. You're taking something that already exists, like research, ideas, theories, and then you're adding your own spin to them. So once I get the eggs and the oil in, we're not only just going to make chocolate cupcakes, we are going to make Reese's cupcakes. Yes, you're going to bite into a big old chocolate cupcake with a big Reese's cup in the middle. We're going to do Reese's cups because Reese's are my dad's favorite. He's also a college professor. He is a retired state trooper, so he's run the gambit on a lot of crime in the state of New Jersey. He's even worked the homicide squad for quite some time. And I think that's where I got my love for true crime. I love all those podcasts and documentaries. But I'm really good with standing on the sidelines. I don't need to get messy or get involved. Now, there are not a lot of ingredients when you're making these cupcakes out of the box. But let me tell you, if you don't pay attention and you don't read the instructions, you're not going to get a cupcake. So think about that the same way you do your assignments. Make sure you read the ingredients that you're going to need. Are you going to need a couple academic journals? Are you going to need news sources? So yeah, make sure you read the instructions carefully before you tackle any project, whether it's a paper, whether it's a discussion board, or whether it's cupcakes. So we've got our oil and our eggs. And sometimes a lot of students get really kind of nervous. They're not sure if it's a new idea because they haven't done critical thinking. And a lot of this class, at least, they're new to research. But let me tell you something. In my class, I understand that there's no absolute truth. So the way to go about things is trial and error sometimes. If you need assistance, reach out to me before the assignments due. I'll be glad to help you. But in the meantime, think about what you're learning and how we can apply it. And sometimes, are you ready for this one? You're going to have to crack a couple eggs. Okay, so be willing to take risks sometimes with thought. Think of things that are new and innovative. We want to use research as a background. We don't want it just to repeat the same thing, because that's not critical thinking, that's just research. So with research goes a lot of citations. So I kind of like making cupcakes this way because it's kind of fun. I'm bringing my own thing with my Reese's. I also do a great one with Oreos. Really good. I love bringing them to my office during the day. I work as an instructional designer for Rowan College. We have a great office vibe. I really enjoy working there, and I also enjoy teaching here at Mercy College. So let's go ahead and start prepping some of the batter here. All right. So outside of teaching, I've also worked as a blogger. I've done a lot of real estate writing. I've also done some marketing. I've interviewed some interesting musicians and artists. And then also, I do have a bachelor's in film, and I still love movies. I particularly like horror films, the really, really bad kind. I also go to a lot of concerts. I love rock music, a little bit of heavy metal. And these are almost ready to put the Reese's cup in. With cupcakes, the box kind of tells you how long they're going to be. So if you don't have enough time to bake them, you probably don't want to start it. So you want to check your class beginning of the week so you know how much time you're going to need for the class. All right, now here's the best part. And one of the biggest challenges of an online class, outside of watching your teacher bake and deal with chocolate, one of the biggest challenges is time management. So get yourself a planner. There are tons of apps and things like that that can really help you kind of figure out what's the best use of your time. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these up and I'll be right back. All right, so cupcakes are all ready. Let's go ahead and put them in the oven. And when you're working on a big project, I do suggest taking a break. You know, whether it's 15 or 20 minutes, or maybe it's the next day. But sometimes after you've worked really hard and focused really hard on an assignment, it's a really great way to just sort of take a break, come back to it, and look at it with a fresh set of eyes. And that's true for any sort of research project that involves writing, not just papers, but even PowerPoint presentations. If you look at something new, again, if you haven't stared at it for a really long time, you may have a different perspective on it. Okay, so here are our cupcakes. We got a few glitches along the way. One of my icing bags broke, so there's a couple that are not perfect. That's okay, because I'll learn from that mistake, and so next time I make these beauties, it'll be a little bit nicer and a little bit better. Maybe the whole batch will be perfect. But either way, we're going to keep trying. That's what grit is about. That's what critical thinking is about. So throughout the semester, I want you to try your hardest. Use the resources available to you. So ask questions. Always ask questions. Email me, talk to the librarians, whatever you need to do to get gritty and succeed in critical thinking. Thanks a lot. Have a great semester.